Yay Media Group.
Do you think we have a shopping addiction tied to our mental health?
Yes.
Yes.
Next question. What's up, and welcome back to Spill the Beans podcast.
We're the girls.
We're back. It's a beautiful, brand new week. And on today's podcast
is going to be such a fun one. Mm-hmm. And I need to excuse myself really quick. My voice sounds like I'm a frog or something because I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, I would say. So I'm so sorry if my voice sounds annoying. But anyway, today we're spilling some beans.
Yes.
We asked you guys to ask us anything.
Mm-hmm. No question is off limits.
I'm a little bit nervous.
I am too. I haven't looked at them. Noemi skimmed them a little bit, but I haven't looked at them, so I'm excited to see what you want to know.
There's some good ones. I'm really surprised because I'm like, you can get creative for sure. You guys get creative.
And we agreed that we're going to spill the beans.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just going to be like, beating around the bush.
No.
We're going to shoot the shit.
Yeah.
And spill it.
That's why we're called Spill the Beans.
Yes.
You see, no?
Who would we be if we were not honest?
Exactly. So let's get into it.
Okay, my love, you can go ahead and start.
Oh, let me pick a good one. Hold on. There's actually a lot of good ones.
Let's try to pick the juiciest ones.
Yes. Okay. How do you girlies put boundaries with in-laws, family members, dealing with your kids?
I think that has to be the easiest thing I could do in my life, probably, around my kids. Before I had kids, I was so submissive, I would say. Like, I would be like, whatever. And now with kids, I'm like, no. But also, I think it depends, but in my experience with my parents, at least, it's like I tell them one time and I don't have to remind them, you know?
Exactly. I know we always agree on answers, but I would agree. I think before I had Penelope, and even still a little bit, I feel like I'm really easy to just like, I don't want to say manipulate. Not that anybody's trying to manipulate me.
Persuade.
Thank you. That's a better word. Yeah. I was way easier to persuade. I was more like, yeah, whatever. And with Penny, I'm like, it's like you said, it's so easy. No. Or no, like I had such a hard time speaking up for myself, but to speak up for Penelope, I have no problem. Like, please don't do this with and this goes for anyone, my in-laws, my parents, my tias, anybody around Penelope, I have no problem being like, no. She doesn't eat that. Mm-hmm. She can't have that. She doesn't do that. Oh, we don't watch TV. We don't watch TV. I don't know why I said that.
We don't watch that show.
Yeah, we don't watch that show. Can you change it? Like, I have no problem just speaking up for her now.
Exactly. I think for me, one thing I have always told my parents, it's quien batalla con ellos, you know? And one thing that was a boundary I had to set right now, because they're toddlers, is the napping. Because toddlers, like, if you let them skip their nap, they will be living their best life until 5 p.m. hits, and now they're crackheads and they need to go to sleep. And if they go to sleep at 5 p.m., they will wake up at 6:30 and then they won't go to sleep till midnight. Mm-hmm. And that is like the biggest thing for me, because I cherish my time after bedtime, and that is the one thing. Like, my parents would be like, but they were so sleepy, mira, los están durmiendo. I'm like, no, porque después voy a batallar yo en la noche, y there's things I gotta do, like kitchen I gotta clean, I have to rot in bed and scroll on TikTok for 2 hours, like, exactly. So I think it's just telling them and being very clear about, yo batallo con ellos, si les dan muchos dulces, ¿qué creen? Voy a batallar yo cuando lleguemos a la casa porque no van a querer comer o van a andar de locos con azúcar, whatever. So yeah, it's just being clear and communicative, and you don't have to make them feel like you don't have to comfort them. You don't have to be like, ay, está muy bien que quiera darle dulce. No, just set a clear boundary, like, ellos no comen dulces, gracias. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that having kids has made me so, like, boundaries, my favorite thing to set.
Yeah. I think it definitely makes you more fearless, for sure, because Absolutely. I could never set boundaries before with anybody, and now I'm like, I don't care who you are. No.
Me too, dude. That's exactly how I was. How do you girls deal with friendship breakups?
Never ever. Hopefully, Never ever us.
Never.
Well, we're not friends anymore.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, we're not even friends.
We can't break up, even if we wanted to. I've never had a breakup así like dramatic. Like I've never had basically a breakup, but I've said this before and I have no problem cutting people off. And so kind of the way I go about it is just kind of slowly like stop associating myself with a person. And it takes a lot for me to like start thinking like this, because I know if I get like the ick for somebody, or if there's something that like the values or morals aren't aligning with mine, it takes a while, and I'm like, okay, I don't want you in my life anymore. And so I kind of slowly just stop reaching out to them. I stop just being active in their life and stop really letting them be active in my life. And this kind of started also with Penny too. It's easier again with kids because I'm like, I don't want that. No quiero esas vibras acá por acá. No, exactly. But it is easier when you have kids. But I don't think I've had like a breakup in that way. I've had to distance myself from people, and I've had to just step away from people, but I've never had a breakup. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you've had a breakup?
Yeah, okay. I feel like I've had a few breakups in my life, and they've been sad and devastating, but I think that the way I deal with it is, well, now I would say more mature, but if you would have asked me when I was 18, I would have been super mad and sad. Yeah. But I think if there's one thing I've learned, it's that every person, their perspective is so different. You could think, oh, we have this beautiful friendship, and then they could be like, I don't like how you do this and this, and I don't like how you, I don't know, your hobbies, what you like to do. And I think that what I've really learned is just to not take it personal. Like if someone cuts me off, I can't be like, hey, like why? It's like the thing that I saw on TikTok the other day. It's if a snake goes and bites you, you're not going to chase it and ask it why it bit you, you know? So if someone cuts you off, it's obviously a sign that they didn't think you were worth it enough to communicate and be like, hey, I'm really feeling like this throughout our friendship, and I would appreciate if maybe you change how you do this, or if you talk to me like this. And if someone doesn't give you that, then it means that you're not worth it enough in their life. And that is something that you cannot take personal, because your friendship, like their friendship to you was so special, but you weren't to them. So you can't go and be like, hey, like just tell me, just talk about it, because I feel like their mind is made up. So that's the one thing I've learned, is just don't take it personal. And say we had a friendship breakup and they blocked me on all social medias, like I would feel really hurt and just move on with my life. But if I've had friendships where we kind of like break up and we're still acquaintances on social media, and I don't mind being like, oh, this is really good, I love their content, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I think because I don't take it personal anymore, I just don't mind still liking their content and like, you know.
I feel like that's the one thing that me and Blanca are so different in. It's friendships and the way we handle our friendships. Blanca is so kind, and everybody knows you're so kind, and you're so genuine. And I'm not trying to say like I'm not kind and genuine, but I definitely put up a guard for sure. Like I think for me, it takes a lot more to become like a friend to me. Mm-hmm. That's why I think I haven't had that many friend breakups, because I don't really make friends as easily. And I think you just love so deeply and you care so deeply, and to you, everybody, not everybody's your friend, but like you are so easy to build a connection with somebody. Mm-hmm. And so for you, that's why you've had more experience with it, I believe, because I think you just love harder. And for me, I have more like my walls up a little more.
And that's what I was about to say too, is that for me it's so easy. Like if I meet you today, by tomorrow I'm like, hey girl, do you want to go get coffee? Mm-hmm. Or if you have kids, hey, let's do a play date. For me, it's so easy to make friends. I've always been a friends girl. My mom said since I was a little toddler. Yeah. So when I had imaginary friends, like that is how much of a friend girl I am. So for me, it's like everyone is my friend. And then if something happens, I'm like, oh man, mm-hmm. like that really fucking sucks. And it does really suck. And it makes me go through a painful phase of kind of grieving the friendship. But I think because I'm a little bit more mature now, I would say that I don't take it personally. Mm-hmm. As to back then, I would always be like, what did I do wrong? Like, I just wish they would text me, or I would reach out and be like, what happened? Like, I'm sorry, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I think that it's just so natural for you guys to experience friendship breakups because you grow, and the person that you like, the friend that was your friend at 17 may or may not be your friend at 27 because you don't know what paths of life you're choosing. And I think I've been really blessed to have friends. Like I have my best friend since kindergarten. We're still friends to this day, even though our lives are completely different. And I think that's beautiful. Yeah. But there are some friendships where I've gotten so close and then broken up, and then I'm like, oh shit, like whatever, you know, I can't, what can you do? Yeah. You know, just love them from afar.
Yeah. And I think even with that, I mean, you change so much. Even if you were really close friends with somebody, it doesn't mean you have beef just because you're not that close. It just means, like you said, you take different paths in life or just different, I don't know, maybe you have a kid and she doesn't. Exactly. And it makes it harder. It doesn't mean you're not friends or acquaintances. It just means you're not at the same place in life at the same time anymore. And that's okay.
And I also believe that when you grow up with friends or you become a friend, when you get married, everything changes. And then when you start having kids, everything changes. And I do think that having kids changes you the most. And that's when you start filtering out the people in your life. And you're like, well, I don't really like how they do this. I don't really want to be around that. I don't want my kids to experience this and that. And I respect that. So if I've had friendship breakups now after being a mom and being in my motherhood era,
Areola.
Sorry, English is my second language. I have more compassion, and although it fucking sucks and it hurts, it's like loving them from afar and being like, okay, like we drifted apart, we broke up, but I still enjoy knowing what you're doing with your life.
Yeah. And that was beautiful.
And I think that's beautiful.
Oh, going on that, have you two ever excuse me, I guess it's also my second language, English. Have you two ever argued?
Oh yeah, remember when we fought that one time?
When? I'm all, wait, was I there?
I just wanted to get clipped. Have we? I feel like we've disagreed on things, but never like, you know.
Yeah. And I think even if like, I know there's been things I've done or things you've done that we kind of like, obviously we're not happy la-di-da all the time. There's like times that we've been a little like annoyed, but it's never been anything that's been that deep for us to like fight about it. I think we just like get over it.
Or where I have to go home and like think, oh, I have to text her and like we have to hash this out.
No, never. I think we're just kind of continue. Like there's just, it's so crazy because we're so like balanced in a lot of ways, I feel like.
Well, I think that this is a reason why when we got comments about, oh, you guys just agree on everything. And then I said, well, we're literally best friends or comadres. Why would I want to be friends with someone that doesn't agree with me or that is not similar to me? And then someone was like, well, it's so boring to like have a friend that's the same as you. Like, wouldn't you want someone that? I'm like, no, because if I like something and you don't, how am I going to be like, hey, let's go to Din Tai Fung and you don't like it, you know? That like, makes no sense.
There's no relatability. Like we relate in so like through so many things, so many things. And so for us, it's like, and I know how you think and you know how I think. So I try not to like, this sounds bad, but like, I'm not going to do something on purpose to try to trigger you or piss you off or whatever. And same thing with you. You're not going to do something to me that you know is going to like put our friendship through the ringer.
Yeah, well, that's what I think, that we respect each other so much and we know each other. Like I'm like, I know Noemi doesn't like when this and this and this happens, so we don't do it, you know, because we respect each other and love each other. And it's just hard. I think it'd be so hard if we were the complete opposite, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that's also what we haven't argued. Y que jamás pase, por favor.
From your lips to God's ears.
Exactly. When was the last time you guys sent a freaky text to your husbands?
2 seconds ago.
Oh, period, queen. You're like, can't wait for after work.
And then after work, no pasa.
And then after work, me duele la cabeza. Just kidding.
You know what my husband said? What? Luis literally. Did I just say my husband?
My husband Luis.
He's like, you're all talk on the podcast. He's like, you act like you're this freak-a-leak, this and that. And he's like, llego a la casa y nada.
I'm done.
So apparently I'm all talk.
You know what? Our hormones are still changing. Give us more time to defrost, okay? I don't know. When was the last time? Were you being serious 2 seconds ago?
No. Okay. Are you texting him right now? I don't know. Maybe I'm boring.
Yeah, I don't remember. I guess because we're always together. So I'm like, when I text him, I'm like, hey, don't forget the tomatoes. Not like, hey, wink, wink, tomatoes.
And you know what? It's kind of embarrassing to me that like we're being tracked on anything. And I just think about all the time. I'm like, what if somebody reads like
your text,
like something disgusting, marrana, cochina, tascada that I said, and I'm like, y salgo en la tele con algo así. I don't know, you know.
Done.
So
yeah,
that
makes sense.
I don't really think I've sent him a freaky text, maybe like, no te la vas a acabar en la noche. I don't know. Shit. I don't think I've ever said that.
Like, I'm gonna add that to the to-do list.
You don't think you?
No, I can't remember the last time, honestly.
Same.
Maybe we are a little bit boring. Maybe when the kids are like 10 and 12.
Maybe when you have some alone time.
Yeah.
Nothing hits like home cooking, and HelloFresh makes it easy to do more of it this year with recipes that feel good and taste delicious.
It's important to bring everyone together with simple and rewarding meals on a busy weeknight. With HelloFresh, browse more than 100 recipes every week, including cuisines from around the world, meals that help you beat the winter blues, and meals that are sure to impress your guests, like their new grass-fed steak ribeyes.
HelloFresh meals are made with wholesome ingredients like sustainably sourced seafood, 100% antibiotic and hormone-free chicken, and seasoned produce like pears, apples, and asparagus, plus high protein and even GLP-1 friendly options too. And with bigger portions from HelloFresh, everyone will feel impressed and satisfied by the end of the meal. I love HelloFresh because it's so convenient for my day-to-day routine.
And for me, HelloFresh really helps because we have swim classes, ice skating classes, play dates every day, all week. So I don't have to think about what's going to be for dinner. I just get home and prep a quick HelloFresh meal.
When dinner tastes this good, nothing hits like home cooking.
Go to HelloFresh.com/SpillTheBeans10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free Zwilling knife, a $144.99 value on your third box.
Offer valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as a discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. Have you guys ever fought so bad with your husbands you talked about divorce? I didn't want to talk about this because I feel like it's so taboo.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you've talked about this before, but around Penelope's first birthday, it was like some of the hardest times for Luis and I. And I don't like to throw the word divorce around because it's like, obviously, you know, it's not something you want to get to, but I was seriously considering it around when Penny was 1. And I think sometimes, yeah, you have arguments that are bad and you're like, dang, like, is this worth it? And I think in the moment you're thinking about all the bad things. You're not thinking about the good things.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, at least, I've like been like, yeah, like I'm in the heat of the moment, and I'm also really bad. I'm working on it, but I'm really bad at controlling my temper. And I kind of just say things out loud. And so I've been guilty of saying, yeah, like I want a divorce, and I don't think it's healthy, but I'm definitely guilty of it. And I think it is because I think about all the negative things that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come back to after, ya se me baja, and I'm like, wait, I was being a little crazy. Let me just balance, balance everything out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, girl, I'm like, I'd be throwing that word around like it's piece of cake because I don't want to get too deep into like the trauma or whatever, but my parents have never had a marriage that I look up to. And growing up, I remember telling my mom, like, just leave, divorce. And I think that in our culture, it's very off the table. Don't divorce. Like, you'll go to your priest and they'll be like, the last thing you do is divorce. Infidelity, you gotta forgive. They hate you, forgive. They do this, forgive. Vayan a un retiro. Seek God. Work on your relationship. And for me, it's never been like that. Given that I am Catholic, but I'm obviously not a practicing Catholic, not someone that goes to church every day, or not every day, every Sunday, or reads the Bible continuously. I truly think that if there's abuse in your marriage, you gotta leave. You don't forgive that, you know? And if there's infidelity, I mean, to each their own. You can forgive, try again, because there's like genuinely people can change.
Yeah.
And I have always said that you have to give people the benefit of the doubt. People can change. If you see like, oh, it's already been multiple times or whatever, then you want to leave. But when you're Catholic, you never leave.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is too much. I'm like, I don't think any of my family's gonna watch this, but also my grandparents, my dad's parents, had such a crazy marriage because first of all, it was never healthy either. Mm-hmm. But it got to a point where they just stopped communicating. They legitimately stopped talking to each other, living in the same house, obviously would not sleep in the same room, would not sleep in the same bed, would not talk to each other. And they lived like that. And I just feel for my grandma, like, why? Like, just leave, like, kick him out of the fucking house, you know. Rest in peace to both of my grandparents. I am just giving an example, but I'm just like, who lives like that? Who chooses to live like that? God isn't going to look at you and be like, oh, as long as you're still married and not divorced, like, just don't talk to each other. Se sentaban a ver la tele, one on this edge of the couch and the other one, like, what life is that, you know?
It's so miserable.
So growing up, my biggest trauma, and Jonathan knows this, was staying in an unhappy marriage. That was the one thing I was like, hell to the no. And then after having kids, girl, I'm like, boy, you know, divorce right here. Sign the papers. We're done. Because I'm putting my kids first. And the one thing that I have always said is I will not have the conversations I had with my mom with Belen when she grows up. You know, that is the last thing that I want her to ever be like, Mom, why didn't you know? Because I think that a lot of people are like, well, a lot of like our culture say we stayed for the kids. But you don't realize that you create this toxic household for your kids. And they see it. Like, they grow up and they figure out exactly who you are. They figure out exactly why you don't talk to dad. They figure out exactly why dad stays out all night and comes home drunk. And then you guys fight and then you guys want to leave it. You know, they figure it out and they start resenting both of you because it's like, you guys are two grown ass adults. Why are you putting us through this? Choose your happiness. Get a divorce. Like, it's not that crazy, you know? So for me, it's never been off the table. And I mean, I am going to therapy now, so I think that I will be maybe taking that word out of my vocabulary, but it is not healthy maybe the way that I use it, but it's also just to remind Jonathan, divorce isn't off the table. It's the first thing I will look to if something ever happens. Like, you disrespect me, you know, God forbid, hit me or cheat on me. Because I put my kids at the forefront. Obviously, like, everyone's like, your husband is more important than your kids to a certain extent, because if that man is treating you like shit, that means that he don't care about you or the kids, girl. Like, you know? So yeah, sometimes I bring it up petty, like, we need a fucking divorce, and there's been times, and you know, around Franco's first birthday, it's that first fucking year of being first time parents, that we seriously considered getting a divorce. And then like, yeah, pasando, and you're like, oh shit, like, no, let's fight for it, you know?
Yeah, it's like, because at that, like, I remember when you told me that was the hardest thing your relationship is going to go through. And me and Luis were like, yeah, like, sure, we're going to hit some bumps, but we're going to be okay. And then I was like, I got there and I'm like, oh, wait, this is deja vu, because I remember you told me about how hard it was going to be. And it's so much. It is so much, because everything all the, like, whatever you had before, your baggage, your problems, whatever, times 100. And then it's like, you think about it and then it's like, do you want to put your kids through this? Yes or no? And like you said, people can change, yes, but they need to want to change. And not that, like, I'm not talking about like anybody specifically. I'm just saying if there's something that is reoccurring and it's not changing, and they need to want to change. Or also, I feel like specifically in my marriage, it was a lot of like, I felt like I was doing everything. And even though this is me talking about, like, my husband is an amazing, amazing dad, and I've never had to ask him to be a good dad. He just is. But there is times where I felt like I was picking up I was picking up all the slack, and I'm like, okay, what are you doing? Like, not to get so deep into our issues, because I'm not really one to talk about like our marital issues.
Yeah.
Yes, but there was an example of one time that I felt like I was doing everything, and I remember I told Luis, bro, like, if we got a divorce, I feel like you, like, the only thing that you would be like I would be missing would be your financial help, which is a horrible thing to say, but at that time that's how I felt. I just felt like yo estaba haciendo todo. I just felt like I was carrying the weight of the entire family. And I know my husband was struggling too, obviously, but this was just how I felt from my point of view. I'm like, I feel like I'm already doing everything. Like, the only thing I would need to be doing is making as much money as you, which I think about this all the time. Moms do it. Mm-hmm. And after that disgusting fight we had, he really like got his shit together, and he was like, you know what, you're right. Like, you were doing everything. And this was when Penny was smaller. So it's hard. Being a first time mom is so hard. Plus balancing the entire house. At that time I wasn't working, so I really felt like shit, because I really wasn't bringing any financial contribution. And even if I was, like, it was for myself, you know. Even still, if I make a little money, it's for myself. Mm-hmm. So it's it was really hard, because I felt like I think I specifically said to him, I can't be everything for everyone. And that's what it felt like at that time. Mm-hmm. But guess what, he's such an amazing man, and he took that, instead of being like, well, you're complaining, well, you're doing this, well, instead of like turning it on me, he took that and he was like, I need to pick up the slack. And he did. And thank God. And now, you know, there's been times too when he's like, listen, I need you to help pick up some slack or whatever, and vice versa. But gracias a Dios, I feel like we're in a really good place right now. And I try to consciously like try not to use that word, because like you said, I feel like it's not like, I don't like the way I've thrown that word around. I feel like it's not healthy. And at the end of the day, I'm like, do I mean it? Like, I don't want to say that if I really don't mean it, because I think that's what I was talking about earlier. In the heat of the moment, I'm like, oh my God, I want a divorce. I'm like, I don't want to use it as a threat. I don't want to use it as like a weapon. Mm-hmm. And yeah, maybe I need to go to therapy too.
I think it's also the thought that if you're bringing the bread to the house, that's all you have to do. And it's so crazy, because with or without kids, a guy still has to work and still has to pay his bills, still has to have an apartment to live in. And you, guess what? If a man is living by himself, he still has to come home and cook for himself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And wash his own clothes, mm-hmm. and mop, or hire someone to do it. And that is the one thing that I'm like, a man working and providing financially for his family is not enough. You still got to come home and be a husband and a dad. And that's a hill I will die on. Yep. But also, just to add a little bit more and not to get too crazy into it, I do believe, and I've always said this, that if someone is not willing to change, it's because they're lazy. And I'm not saying they're like, they don't love you, they don't think you're worth it, your kids are worth it. It's that they're lazy, because if there's one thing I've learned, is that changing and working on yourself is probably the hardest work that you'll ever have to do, because you do not like to see your own flaws. You do not like to see the problems that you bring, the baggage that you have. And I believe that if someone is not willing to do the work to change, it's because they're lazy, and because it's so much easier to stick to your ways and to just be the person that you are, that someone doesn't want, that your spouse doesn't want you to be, because it's just easier. Like, that is the easy way out. And then you end up divorced, and then 5 years later you're like, fuck, like if I would have put in the work, my family would still be complete.
Absolutely.
And I know that's going to ruffle some feathers, and I'm very sorry. No, I'm not sorry. This is my year. Guys, I was telling Noemi, I was like, this is the year where I become more of a bitch and less of a little bitch. I'm a big bitch now. No, it's just, yeah, I mean, I've been through some shit, girl. And I do believe that it's my year to put my foot down.
I think it's your year to unapologetically set boundaries, and you need to stop doing everything for everyone and let people do for you.
Yeah, and also I think it's my year to stop letting people walk all over me.
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel like I've always been the type that just look at the good side. Just look at the good things. Have faith in the person, the potential they have. And I mean this for everybody, family members, friends, spouses, whatever. Don't look at their potential. Look at exactly what they're giving you and run with it. Okay? Because it's hard. It's really, really hard.
That's what I was talking about when I said this is the only thing we're different about, because I don't think like that.
Yeah.
And maybe that makes me horrible, but I just always have my guard up. And I think that's why it's a little bit harder for me.
Yeah.
Because I think the opposite. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm in my head. Según yo, I'm good at reading people. And so I'm always trying to like read people and say, like, what are your true intentions? But then.
And me, I'm just like, oh yeah, we're besties.
Yeah.
And then like later down the road, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. I think me and you need to meet more in the middle and
Compromise.
balance. Yes. Balance each other out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Noemi, because we were having this talk the other day and I was like, well, you're like super nice. And I was like, well, I wish I was more of a bitch. Like, I don't think you're a bitch at all, but you said this by yourself.
Yeah.
I was like, she did say this. I would never call her a bitch, but that's like, I want to be a bad bitch like you. And I just feel like you don't care about things that you have no control over. And I am so empathetic that I care about every single thing impacting every single person in my life. And this year, that's what I want to be. I want to just really prioritize myself first and foremost, and my family, my kids, and just say, okay, if it's not affecting us, then don't try to take control over it, because that's really hard. My toxic trait is wanting to solve everybody's life issues.
Exactly.
And then I ando yo dragging my baggage.
Yours and everybody's baggage.
I'm like, my therapist has a ball with me, honestly, when I sit on that chair.
Yeah. And I'm the opposite, because I only care about the people I care about, basically. Like, obviously I have empathy for everybody else, but not in the way you do. Like, I'm not going to bend over backwards to try to fix everybody's problems. I don't have that energy. I don't have that in me. Like, it's just not me.
I'm just thinking about, the fucking blow up things that are at, like, outside car dealerships. That just like me. That's literally me. Just squiggly wiggly.
Yep.
Okay, this one says, are you guys on birth control, and what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's satanic. I'm just kidding. I'm not on birth control, but I was actually just telling Blanca that I think I'm about to be. Not so much for like sexy time, which I think that's an advantage, but my acne is so out of control that, like, when we were in New York, my face looked like a freaking pepperoni pizza. Oh, I don't understand. Every time I go on a trip, every single time I go on a trip, my face breaks out and it hurts. It's so bad. As soon as I get home 2 days later, nothing to be seen. So I've been thinking about getting on birth control for that reason. You definitely inspired that, because I'm like, look at your beautiful clear face.
I would have never thought, girl. Would never have thought that this would be my face. And I know, trust me, when I post about my birth control, I get so many DMs like, birth control's the worst, like you shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. Girl, it's done wonders in my life. Of course, the advantage, because my thing was I needed it for acne. But the advantage, of course, is not getting pregnant. And I was always against the pill. So growing up, that sounds so terrible. When I started becoming sexually active, I went on the Nexplanon, which is the arm implant with hormones. And I was having the time of my life, because with that one, genuinely, you don't have to remember to take anything. You don't have to have protected sex. You didn't hear this from me. It's allegedly. And it was amazing, right? But I retained so much liquid. I was so overweight. It was insane. I got off of that. 8 months later, I got pregnant with Franco. And then I was like, okay, what am I gonna do now? I did natural family planning. And of course, I fucking sucked at it, because then I got pregnant with Belen. And that was my fault. Like, genuinely, it was on me, because I checked the app the day after we had unprotected sex, and I was ovulating. I literally ovulated that day. And 21 days later, I was pregnant. So
the math is mathing. Yes. The science is there.
I mean, they literally told me this could happen. And so I started tracking my cycle again with the Aura Ring and the Natural Cycles app after I had Belen. And then my acne was just terrible. It hurt. It was annoying. I felt so not confident. I felt so insecure. And so I was like, we get the best of both worlds. You get clear skin and no unplanned pregnancies. Let's go, baby. And so, yeah.
Y aquí estamos.
Y aquí estamos y no nos vamos. And even because I think Jonathan's going to get a vasectomy, right? But even if he did, I don't think I would stop taking birth control because of my acne,
of that.
you know? I know it's a Band-Aid. You don't have to tell me in my DMs. Like, I know it's literally a Band-Aid that when I stop taking, it's going to come back.
But like, okay, I don't understand that because you're taking it and the reason you're not having acne anymore is because your hormones are being balanced.
Yeah.
So it's not a Band-Aid. It's literally medicine to help you and your hormones. I know there's other ways to help balance your hormones, but this is more like a quick fix. Because same thing, I talk about this all the time. When I was pregnant, my hormones were aligned. My chakras were aligned. I had literally like my water retention was 0. My skin was clear as my skin could be. And I think it was because of that, because of my hormones. And now that I'm 2 years postpartum, I'm starting to get acne again. And it's because my hormones are shifting again. So it's not a Band-Aid, I would say it's a quick fix.
Exactly.
Because it takes a lot of work. Do you know how much work it takes to actually align your hormones? Do you know how many vitamins?
How many doctor's appointments?
How careful you have to eat, drink, like it's so many things. And yes, it's doable, but also like, do we have time for that right now? As a mom of 2 kids. I know. And maybe like when you're younger and like you have acne and you can go to the derm and do all these things, it's different. I'm like, do you think we want this? Do you think we like having acne? Do you think we like having to do this? Like, no.
Exactly. And I love her. I will take my birth control till I no longer can.
Yeah. I guess I didn't answer this, but condoms are a form of birth control and we do use condoms. I'm not just, because I used to just, me persinaba, yeah, but
I'm done with
at the point in life that I am right now, I can't take any risks. And so I guess that's our form of birth control. Do you think we have a shopping addiction tied to our mental health?
Yes. Next question.
When you go on trips, who pays for flights and hotels?
Both the bank.
The credit cards?
Credit cards.
Do you want to talk about that? Because it's kind of like the way that we are in our friendship. And now in business, it's kind of just been the same thing. We kind of just balance everything out. Like, for example, I feel like at the beginning, we were kind of like split everything. Yeah. And now we're kind of more like, you get this and I get this. And it's usually around the same.
Exactly.
And it works out better for us. And for example, when we were in LA, for some reason, my freaking card wasn't working. Oh, yeah. Chase was like not letting me buy things. And so my sugar daddy was buying everything for me. And I would just have to, like, as soon as she bought it, I'd just be like, okay, how much was it? And I just send it to her. In that case, like if we feel like one is paying more than the other, we'll send each other money.
And I don't think we've ever felt that way. Yeah,
exactly. And if everything is just, we try to just balance everything out.
Yeah. And like as for flights and hotels, we split all of that all the time. We get our own flights. We split the Airbnb because we usually always stay at Airbnbs. And we split the rental because we used to share a rental, but now I have multiple kids, so we really can't. We really could if we wanted to, but it's like the whole maleta situation, you know. But yeah, I think it's so easy, and even when we're with both families, like I pick up dinner one day and then they pick up breakfast the next day. It's literally, it's just balance.
Yeah, and I think we have a good. Like, we've never had to say it. Like, this is like an unspoken rule between us, between me and you, even between Luis and Jonathan. Even if it's just all of us together, it's just been an unspoken rule. Like, hey, Blanca got dinner yesterday, let's get breakfast today. Like, it's just always common courtesy. Would you say that?
And also when we go shopping, genuinely, I feel like we spend around the exact same money, and it's always because if you buy it, I buy it. If you don't buy it, I don't buy it.
You're the worst at that.
Yeah, so
and I love it,
and I think that's beautiful. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably the least of our worries is how much money we spend.
No. It's probably a problem.
And I'm like, is it a problem? Yes. Do we worry about it? No. Because we could be doing drugs and we're not doing those.
Exactly. I could be addicted to other things.
Exactly. I'm done.
I'm scared.
Do you swallow for your men? If so, what are some tips?
Well,
please.
I think the infamous swallower should answer that because
I'm done.
No, just kidding. Not an infant.
What are some tips?
Just give him the tip you gave Myra.
Igual que cuando tomas medicina, bebé. No la pruebes, nomás abre la garganta y échatela.
I actually do have a tip that I haven't put into practice, but I've heard.
I'm done with you.
Listen. The way it tastes is the way not your man or the man they eat.
Disgusting.
And like I've heard that if they eat cleaner and they like are hydrated and it's like it tastes more. I'm not gonna say better. That's not the word. It tastes less worse.
Yeah. For lack of better words. Yeah, and can you like eat pineapple or something and it will be a little bit sweeter?
Yeah, for the girl and the guy too?
Yeah, I don't fucking know, girl. I
Try
haven't
it.
taken none of these tips. I literally act like you're swallowing medicine, baby.
It is what it is. Yeah, and that's like a treat. That's like a holiday type of... That is like it does not happen all the time.
No.
Next question.
Have you ever ate your man's ass?
Only if he asked me to.
You're like, I would if he let me, but he don't.
No, that man doesn't even let me. Like if he's going up the stairs,
exactly.
he literally will run because he knows I'm not gonna try to poke him.
Exactly.
No, that's not my style. Never have I ever had the desire to.
How do you split finances with husbands? Share account, separate, budget, allowance. Allowance is crazy, baby. Allowance for children only.
You guys know I'm very honest about my finances. I'm like, my man is my wallet and my money's fun money.
And clock it.
Yeah, I feel like, gracias a Dios, he is in the position where he provides and I have fun. Basically like my fun money. From the beginning, it was always very attractive to me that Luis, even when like we were dating, he always paid for everything. He always he always made it clear that he is a provider and he wants to provide. And I always made it clear that I want to be provided for. No, actually that's a lie, because when I first met Luis, I was this like, I had the mentality of like, everything's going to be 50-50. I'm a feminist, this and that. And guess what? I'm still a feminist and I love being catered to. And that's what works for us. It doesn't mean like I'm not judging. The only time I judge is if the woman is doing everything and more and she still has to pay 50-50. This is when I'm thinking, girl, please, you don't have to stand up. No, I know it's hard. And not that I'm judging, but it's just so unfair. I think as long as it's fair, you do what you have to do.
And I also believe that you're very responsible with the money that you do have. Like if you are sharing bank accounts with your husband and he's providing, it's not like you're over there fucking shopping and doing this and that. Well, okay, the most responsible way that we can.
Yeah. No, but Luis has never said, like, he's never put limits on me, but I'm also not going to take advantage and like
that's what I meant.
Zero the account. Yes.
Like, that's what I was trying to get out.
I'm never going to zero the account. And I've heard this about a lot of creators. Like, I don't make that much money yet, but I've heard this about a lot of creators. Like we have a friend that I know that she's said this on social media. Her husband, she's very well off now, but she said her husband's money is basically like pays for all the bills and her money's still her fun money. I'm sure she like pays for things, you know, and now she's making a lot of money. But she said this before, even though I'm making money, my husband's still the provider. And I'm like, if he wants that, I'm not going to take that away from him.
Exactly.
Like when I start making a lot of money, I'm not going to take away my husband's will to work and provide if that's what he wants to do.
Exactly.
But that's just me. I like I said, I don't judge and I don't care what anybody else's financial situation is or how they're doing it, as long as it's fair.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I agree. Jonathan and I have separate and combined bank accounts and a bunch of savings accounts, gracias a Dios. But yeah, it's always been like that too before. And it's exactly like, it's so crazy to think about, because guys, I don't even think I've ever like deep dived on how I went from having $0 in my bank account to where I am now, which is very blessed, I would say. But first of all, when Jonathan and I started dating, I no money. Like, it wasn't even ask my mom for $20. No, like, I knew I couldn't ask for money, and I knew I had no money. Y ya. Y la queso. I did sports because I was on the free and reduced lunch and they were free. So I was like, hell yeah, girl. And I remember, like, for softball, my best friend literally bought my glove because I didn't have money to buy it, and you needed a fucking glove to do softball. Shout out Julia. And so yeah, Jonathan paid for it every fucking day. Like, he even I remember for Black Friday once he took me shopping at H&M. And I had never gone on a shopping spree. Like, that's crazy, right? So then, yeah, he, like, was always a provider. When we moved into our first apartment, he was paying all the bills and the rent, and I was just barely making it by because at this point I didn't have managers, so my brand deals were being negotiated by me. So I was literally getting paid nothing, and my YouTube was doing really good, but still, it was like not. Yeah, I don't think I was monetizing as I should have. So he provided for me for years. And then, yeah, when I started making money, it was like, okay, let's just make a bank account, combined bank account where all his money goes in, all my money goes in. And then after that, we started breaking off into, okay, let's get this bank account for this savings, this bank account for the savings. And then I have my separate bank account for, like, the one that I had before we had a combined one, and then he has the one that he had before we had a combined one. So we obviously have subscriptions and bills that came out of that one. But yeah, it's always been, and the same as you, like, we never tell each other, like, why'd you spend that much money, or why'd you take this off? And if it's a big purchase, we always talk about it, like, hey, do you think it's, like, okay that we buy this fucking computer? Or Jonathan, like, for his food truck, all of that money for him right now is from the food truck. So yeah, I feel like it's always been communication as well, because I think it's very taboo too in relationships to talk about money, but also money is usually one of the biggest reasons you get a divorce. So you have to be really raw, open, and honest. I've literally heard horror stories where you marry someone and then you find out that they're like hundreds of $1,000s in debt.
Yeah.
So it's really important to just be
That's really scary, because obviously we met our men when we were younger, so we didn't even have the power.
We didn't have money.
We didn't have money. We have nothing. But now, like, imagine dating now as an older person. Like, I think about that all the time. I'm like, if I had to date, there's so much that comes with it.
What's your credit score and what is your credit card debt?
Exactly. And how are you planning to pay that off?
And what is your yearly income?
Yep. Oh, this one says, how are y'all doing? Genuinely asking, mentally, spiritually, and financially. You just healed my heart.
I'm gonna cry. Like, don't. Right now, I'm in a very fragile state. Okay, don't ask me how I'm doing, because I will just sob.
Well, I'm doing good.
You're like, sorry, girl.
I can answer that. Okay, mentally, I feel like I'm never mentally okay.
You're like, to the best of my abilities.
Yeah. I know I'm joking about it, but I'm like, there's not episodes. Okay. So freaking insane. I feel like there's like waves in life where you feel like your mental health is good, and there's waves in life where like I'm just like down in the dumps, and for no reason. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel good, sometimes not. I literally feel like sometimes I like not disassociate. What's the word? I'll give you an example. Like, the other day I was like getting off of my car and I wasn't with Penny. I think it happens when I'm not with Penny. Okay. I was opening the door to the garage, like walking into the house, and I felt like I was like not in my body.
Oh shit.
What is that?
Is that detached? I think it is disassociated. Is it? Yes.
And I'm like, that's probably a problem, but I don't have time to deal with that right now.
Like, I hope it's a problem, it fixes itself.
Yeah. So mentally I feel like I always just, this is so bad, but I'm going to be so real with you guys, because I'm sure nobody has time to like work on their mental health. Like, this is so unhealthy, but I feel like I just kind of try to like shove it, like, you know, like no matter what, I just feel like I'm shoving it. Spiritually, I feel like my spirits are always high. Like,
I'm done with you. I'm done. Like, my mental health is shit, but my spirits are high. And that's how you gotta live life. Start sobbing.
Literally, actually.
Like, actually, I'm not okay.
Jesus.
I'm done with you.
My eye is sweating. I'm just kidding. No, spiritually, I feel like I'm doing good. I would like to get closer to God, and I was actually thinking of ordering like a little like kind of like a Bible study thing,
like a devotional.
Yes. I was thinking about ordering something like that because I know like journaling and doing things like that is good for you.
I have a perfect one. I'll send you a link.
Really? Okay.
It's really good. It's 40 days to a joy-filled life. And it's literally like committing yourself to do 40 days. Because I know when you think you want to commit yourself to do something, you're like, damn, for a fucking year is crazy. So it's 40 days. And it's short and sweet. So,
okay. Send it to me. Yeah, send it to me. And financially, you guys already know I talk about this all the time. Luis and I are still like, we are fighting for our lives, but we're doing our best. And I'm trying to work as hard as I can.
And you are, baby.
And I'm
You're
working hard. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying, I think when I say that, it sounds like I'm broke as shit. Yeah. We're not broke as shit. No. But times are not what they used to be. You know, like the economy right now is crazy.
It's shit.
And I just can't splurge like I used to, even though like, you see us taking trips, y gracias a Dios hay para eso. Like I know I just took 2 trips back to back, which was unplanned because I didn't know we were gonna go to Mexico City right after going to New York. But there's always credit cards, girl. Like that's a problem while we're later.
Spend it now, pay later, baby.
So actually, I'm like mentally, spiritually, financially,
great.
Next question.
Let's see. Mentally, I'm in the dumps right now. I restarted therapy, and I was telling Nomi that I sat in my therapist chair.
It's not funny. I'm sorry.
She was like, so what brought you in today? And I just started sobbing. And she was like, here are the tissues, girl. You're fine. So mentally, I'm really not doing well right now. It's so crazy, don't you think, to like be a mom and experience what your mom went through? Like, she really was putting on a fucking show for you, and that's insane, huh?
And I just want to hug her.
Like, and now I'm gonna fucking cry. But I have been taking supplements to help me out. I have never been an anxious girly, but
God bless you.
I think right now my mental health is doing really bad for the first time in a long time. And so I'm taking supplements to help it. I'm just taking ashwagandha. I cannot say it, baby. Maybe I should learn how to say it if I'm taking it. Ashwagandha and L-theanine, which is kind of to calm your body. And I take it in the morning and at night to sleep. And I am taking supplements because I need to show up for my kids. Like, I still have to work and then show up for the kids and then be in good spirits for them. So that's why I'm also going to therapy, because I obviously need someone to vent to and cry my eyes out to weekly. Actually, I think I'm going to do it 2 times a week. That's how terrible I am right now. But spirits también. I feel like in spirits I can be really high because I also try to live one day at a time and just deal with whatever is going on that day. And if it's a good day, then my spirits are high. Financially, again, like the economy fucking sucks, but we're really blessed with our job and our work that we've been good. And to be honest, like, I never thought I'd be a good saver, to be honest, because I have lived paycheck to paycheck up until I had kids. I was living my best life, girl. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, after having kids, I was like, oh damn, like you should probably start saving some money, you know, yeah, and paying your taxes and doing all the things. So we literally have like thousands of fucking savings accounts because they go for so many things. But gracias a Dios, like, si se me atora un pedo, tengo de cómo sacármelo. Because the economy is shit. And you know, like, don't you realize that when you go grocery shopping and the bill is like $300 for nothing, you're like, and then you have to go back the next week because the bananas are done? Like, what?
We went to Target yesterday, and first of all, Target's not the place to shop, but we were right next to it, and I had to get something from there anyway. And we didn't even go grocery shopping. We just got a few items. It was $200. I'm like, what? Like, this used to be like a whole, and I also, like, I could be doing better with budgeting. That's a flaw I have, that Luis and I need to sit down and just budget better. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, how is it possible? We got like mini pancakes, cottage cheese, like things like that. And then we got other things as well. But I'm like, how did it end up being $200? That doesn't make sense in my head.
Exactly.
That's my life.
So yeah, we're hanging on by a thread a little bit.
Wait, am I getting lip filler allegations? What made you guys
Must
want
be
to get lip filler?
nice. I'm like, Noemi is natural. Al natural.
Gracias a Dios, it's the one thing I have going for me. I don't have lip filler. I've had a lip flip, which is Botox.
Mm-hmm. And what made me want to get lip filler? I want big lips.
Next question.
Next question.
What would you guys do if your man went to go see strippers? Physically fight him.
Divorce. There I go with my toxic self.
No, that's
sorry.
that's not toxic. That's a boundary.
Yeah. And I know people are like, but I go see strippers with my husband. Amazing. I love that for you. That is not the type of relationship I have.
Wait, let me tell you guys some tea because I just remembered this. For Luis's 21st birthday, we went to the strip club and he got a lap dance. And
You're
thought
better
I was
than
the
me?
cool. No.
Oh.
I thought I was being like this cool at this point we were boyfriend and girlfriend. I thought I was being the coolest girlfriend. And I mean I was at that point. I was like, I'm so chill, this, that, like whatever. Girl, we walk in. I had never been to a strip club. I didn't know like titties were out when you walked in. That's not what they show in the movies.
I didn't know that either.
You walk in with titties out and I was like, should I pull my titties out?
For real? You're like, I gotta make some money.
No. And we went with his cousins and his cousins are, a fun time. And they were like, just get a lap dance. And Luis at the time, he was like, no, it's okay. I was like, just do it, babe. You're 21. I also didn't want him to I was like, I don't want you to, like, I didn't want him to be like, I didn't get to get a lap dance because my girlfriend was there and and I'm like, I would rather do this here with me. And I know that was his only time going to the strip club. So I just let him have a little dance. And I couldn't see him anyway because they were sitting like by the stage and me and the other girls, we were kind of like back, so I didn't see it. But I felt furious and I wasn't going to show it. I wasn't going to make a scene because I was there and I was like, yeah, babe, go ahead. So after that, I was like, we're never doing this again. I'm not cool. I'm strict.
Like,
I
take it
have
back.
boundaries. I'm conservative.
Mm-hmm. As you should.
Yeah. What is your take on sex while pregnant? 100 out of 10.
You literally.
My favorite sex ever.
Yeah. I guess there's a lot of questions asking why we don't work with few certain small businesses out there anymore. And the only thing I'm going to say about this is no tea, no shade at all. But in this political economy, I do not work with businesses who don't align with my morals. And I think that's all I have to say.
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Spill the beans on how to get your man to be obsessed and in love with you.
Agua de calzón. Allegedly.
We don't even really know what that is.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard growing up, that's all you heard, right? Es que le dio agua de calzón.
I've never heard that.
No?
Well,
Okay.
I've never heard that. I never heard that growing up. I heard that
Okay.
like recently, like in my older years.
Okay. Yeah, I think growing up, that's all I heard was like,
Really?
es que le dio agua de calzón y es un mandilón y blah, 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 blah. So yeah, pussy juice is what they say to put in their water or tea or coffee.
Yeah. Anytime my husband, he like if I cook for him, very rarely, when I cook for him and he's like, this is so good. ¿Qué le echaste? I'm like, pussy juice, bro.
Like, sorry, that's a secret ingredient.
I'm sorry. No, I think honestly, I'm like, how do you give advice about that? I'm not trying to give advice. It's just, when a man loves you, like he's gonna act like he loves you.
Yeah.
And you just take it for what it is, girl. You embrace it.
And also, I do believe that you shouldn't think like that. Like, what can I do for my man to be obsessed with me? They just should be,
Exactly.
And when you don't feel obsessed over, it feels like, what the fuck are we doing then? Because I believe women were made to be obsessed over. And I'm not saying like, oh, que sea mandilón, que whatever. But like, why is mandilón such a bad thing to be?
Thank you. Y'all. Okay, listen. I mean, comfortable. I feel like my husband gets a lot of shit, like never really on the internet, but he's gotten a lot of shit all his life because gracias a Dios, like he's always shown his love for me. He's always, like from the beginning, he's always been very affectionate. He's always been obsessed with me. Like it's not like it's one way. I am obsessed with him. I love him. I do things for him too. I think it just is so bizarre, maybe, like in the culture, that like men don't really show their affection and their love for women that much. Like, and for me, it was always an expectation. My dad has always worshipped the ground that my mom walks on, and I have, gracias a Dios, like I thank God for this every day, the best marriage example. No, they're not perfect, but they are a good, like they're a good solid marriage.
Absolutely.
And I never expected anything less. And so anytime I would like I only had 2 like real boyfriends, and both of those boyfriends, which one of them being Luis, have always treated me like a queen. And anytime I ever like even, I guess, talk to other guys, if I even sniffed out anything that was like a little, like one time I was talking to this guy and he just kept bringing up, yeah, when you cook for me, and I was like, get out, bro, get out, stop talking to me. I don't ick. And if just I ever felt any kind of like little like ick, I just would stop, cut it off. I don't think there's a way to make your man obsessed with you. I think he should just be obsessed with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And if he's not, check him right now, girl. And that's the one thing that I've always like thought about. It's, what the fuck is the point of being married then? Like, if you are not obsessed with me, if you don't worship the ground I walk on, if you don't think I'm the best, goddess, most perfect, beautiful person you've ever seen in your life, why are we together? That makes no sense. Why? Because it's convenient, because you get sex, because I clean, I do the laundry, I do the dishes, I take care of the kids. Like, that is, so then what does the girl win?
Exactly.
Like, where's her pedazo de?
Yes, and that's my thing. I just feel like we're going to get into this a little feminist talk, but I feel like women already go through so much. I'm not saying men don't, but this is a girl's talk. Women already go through so much, and then you become a mom and they go through so much, and there's just so much. I just feel like a man could love a woman the way she's supposed to be loved. And again, I'm going to reiterate this. I also love my man. Like, I also do things for him. I don't just sit here con, you know, with my panza afuera, and I'm not like sitting here like receiving gifts and stuff. No, I obviously love him and I'm obsessed with him too, but it's different because he's obsessed with me more.
As he should. And I've always said this, a man has to love a woman more, because when a woman loves more, it will never work out, because men are not willing to put up with bullshit. And if he senses that he loves you more, sometimes he's gonna be a fucking machista about it and be like, fuck that, like, blah, blah. But you have to, te tienes que dejar querer. And I don't know, like, when people say, oh, es bien mandilón, I'm like, good. Like, why are you trying to use that as an insult? Like, thank God, you know?
My husband does not get offended by that. Like, he's been told that all the time, and he's like, okay. And I'm here with my happy wife and my happy daughter, and look at you over there making your wife miserable as fuck. And yeah, and exactly, or divorced or whatever. Like, people that have told him he's mandilón, I'm like, okay, are you jealous? You're not anywhere better than him, so exactly.
And that's how you should be in this life, girl. And I think as a woman married to a Mexican man, we have to do a lot of work, and not to like baby them and not to parent them, because fuck that. I'm saying, like, sit down and be like, do you love me, and are you gonna act like you love me or not? Because I'm not willing to put up with this shit. And I'm not saying like, oh, I really want you to like do this and that. It's not bad to communicate that. I want you to plan more dates, I want you to do this, I want you to bring me flowers every week. When they die, I want you to replace them. I want to be surprised with a gift. I'm not saying don't set your boundaries like that. Don't tell them how you like to be loved. Don't tell them your love language. Yes, 1,000%. But if you have to constantly be reminding them, and your needs are constantly not being met, what are we doing?
It's like I'm saying, women already go through so much.
Exactly.
So why do women have to ask to be loved a certain way? If you're not,
that's crazy.
What's his name? Gomez from the Addams Family. Is that his name?
Yes. I think it is just Gomez. Yeah, because I was like trying to make, no, I think it is Gomez.
Yeah, if you're not Gomez and Morticia,
what can I tell you?
No, I'm just kidding.
You're Chicharito and whoever the fuck he's dating.
Nobody, exactly. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he's dating anybody.
And pobrecita if he is. But yeah, I mean, that's all we gotta say about that. I feel like if you are getting told your man is a mandilon, good for you, baby.
Doing
We are
something
applauding you. I know, but is that all for today, ladies? Probably.
Oh, I think that's all we have.
I think before we leave, though, we do want to say we've gotten so many questions about our hats, and they are our merch.
You guys.
They are.
This is like one of our proudest moments.
Honestly.
Even when we were out, right, in New York, we were wearing these hats, the amount of compliments and like questions we would get asked.
I'm like, it's mine.
Actually, I made it.
That ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the first Spill the Beans for the Girls merch piece dropping today as you're watching this podcast Friday, March 17, 18, 20, March 20th. You can go shop it now.
Yes.
So we'll have the link in the description box.
Yes.
And we have 3 colors: blue, green, tan with red. And
they're all my favorite.
Yeah, we hope you guys love it. Thank you guys for already loving it and asking us for the link and to send you the link. But this is our merch.
This is it. And it is very fitting for us.
Yes.
Very fitting for all the moms. And even if you're not a mom and you're just a baddie, it's very fitting for you too.
Overtired and overthinking. And that's our motto.
And that's our motto. And we love it.
And we love it. And I hope you guys do too. Go ahead and shop it. And we love you so much. And
we'll see you in the next one.
bye.
Yay Media Group.